there, PC Smoker back again after about 5-6 weeks. Anyway, I'm back on again with another video, and tonight I'm smoking my Bari pipe with Boswell stem and smoking some Boswell's Piper's Pleasure. And before we get the main thrust, what I'm going to talk about, a little video response to Brother of the Bria's question of how we hold pipes. This is how I hold my pipe. The bigger it is, you can hold down the bottom, because depending on how thin the walls are, if they're thin, I'll hold it like here, and then when the holes are down here, I'll hold it like that. So basically, that's how I hold my pipe. Okay, now on to the main thrust. My last video was just done on New Year's morning. I said that one of my resolutions was to hopefully get a job as a truck driver, go to school, get a CDL permit, and then go to the school and learn how to be a truck driver for them, and then be on the road. Okay, about a week after New Year's, the school called up and gave me a nice little, had an interview on the phone and all that, and then about 3 minutes later, after they hung up, I went to the computer and found a message saying, "We can't take you." No reason given or anything like that. And one, it kind of pisses me. Well, one is a relief, because I was starting to get the CDL, so at least I saved some money on that. But it really pisses me off, because it's like don't get a job, but you don't know why. I mean, one part could be because like the interviews, like if you had essays on your test back in high school and college, you're trying to figure out what's it. What are you trying to put? What are you hoping the teacher wants to say? So like, how does this blah blah blah? The teacher has something in mind, and you're trying to figure out what's that teacher's. What are you trying to find that the teacher wants to see? That's kind of what the interview is. Go in there as you are, hopefully upbeat and all that, and you just answer the questions truthfully and all that, honestly, and then go on from there. Like I said, I didn't get the job because, for reasons unknown, like I said, the interview could be the one problem. And like the other two jobs I had close to my hometown, I didn't get the jobs there either, because one, it could be the interviews. Two, it could be, well, the distance. Like the one close to my hometown, it's an hour's drive north and an hour's drive south. Almost 9 minutes. 9 minutes one way, 9 minutes the other. So that might be a fact right there. But probably another fact that most people, two other factors. One is what was alluded to on 60 Minutes, that if you don't have a good credit rating, you can't get a job. And it's just like with all these people who lost their jobs back in 08 and 09 during the near depression that we had. A lot of them had the credit scores probably plummeted, because why? Well, they didn't have a job, couldn't pay the bills, and sometimes the bills are part of the credit report. So they're trying to look for a job, but they can't, because why? They weren't able to pay the bills on time. Why is that? Well, they didn't have any money. So they can't get a job. So in order for them to get the money to pay the bills and all that, they gotta have a job. And they can't have a job because why? That poor credit rate, because why? They don't have enough money to pay the bills with. That's just bullshit, but you know, that's one of the dumb things right there. And another thing probably also that's hurting those who lost their jobs back in the New Depression was that it's their age. With all heard that with my friend CHH, he got the boot a few weeks ago, and you know he's in his mid-40s, which means he could get another job, depending upon what he's looking for. If the employers like what they did in the past, and of course the interview and all that, and credit rating's good, might be able to get a job. But you know, nowadays, you know, employers are kind of leery of hiring people who are in the mid-40s up, because they rather hire people who are in the 20s and 30s, because why? They're not thinking of retirement. And that's the bottom line right there. Why most of these people lost their jobs. You know, they're in the late 40s, 50s, 60s, and you know they can't retire because their IRAs are gone. Because they have to use it to keep the roof over their heads and feed the mouths and all that. Put the clothes in the back, and you know, employers don't want to hire them for the job they previously had, because why? They're too old. Because they're thinking about, you know, if they're like 55, they're thinking 10 years down the road they're going to quit because they're 65 and they will want to retire. Well, of course they can't retire because what can they retire on? They don't have any money to prepare themselves for what's going to lie ahead, like all the medical expenses they're going to pay for, the heart attacks, the stroke, the Alzheimer's, whatever cancer pops up. You know, they don't have the money, so you know, like, why retire? You know, so they can't retire at 65. And you know, of course, with people trying to live. I mean, with medicine's the way it is right now, you know, living long to 100. You know, they weren't trying to rebuild the IRA, so like have enough to retire, which means they can stick around to 80, which is why not, you know? Because if you think about it, you know, like Social Security was built for those who retire at 65, because back in the 1930s, when it was enacted, the average lifespan was maybe about 66, 67, 8 years old. So, you know, if you retire at 65, you're dead in a year, money saved. Well, nowadays, you know, people living up to being 100, which means they retire at 65, they're draining the Social Security funds. You know, they're living 35 years and draining out the Social Security, and there's no one behind. There's no one to take the place to keep that solvent. So that's the reason why Social Security is such a big mess. Because, you know, people want to retire early, live off Social Security. You know, they live to be 150, 105, so like, it could get to 150, but, you know, there's no one around to, there's no big swell of 20th century baby boomers to help with the 20th century baby boomers. So, you know, Social Security is going to be gone. So, anyway, that's the reason why, you know, most people want us to keep on working, because, you know, they know that Social Security isn't going to last long, and I want to keep on working until they can no longer work. Same thing in my case. I want to keep on working until I no longer can, which is either when I'm dead or Hopefully they will not drop dead, but anyway, that's some of the reasons why, some people can't get a job, because, credit rating's bad because they can't pay the bills because they can't have a job, and they can't find a job because people aren't going to hire them because they're too old. In my case, I ain't going to say how old I am. I'll let you guys, but I got to make that a contest. Because, because an old friend of mine told me, never tell your age. I mean, who cares? And I always listen to what Methuselah always says, so. Besides, I don't age or regenerate. Anyway, so that might be the only reason, because, of my age, probably they won't hire me because of that. And probably my credit rating, last time I heard, was great. It was super fantastic. It was over 800. So go figure. And of course, probably the reason why, probably the interview, because like I say, it's like an essay test. You don't know what the interviewer is looking for. So you kind of have to grasp this all. So anyway, I'm soldiering on. Of course, what about temp jobs? Well, no company isn't hiring yet because it's still in the winter phase, which means orders ain't going to go up till maybe come March or April, and that's when productivity will go up, and they'll be able to hire more temps until Thanksgiving comes, and then just lay them off. So, well, of course, a new job just popped up, which might be a boom for me because I can't qualify for it. That's Pope. I qualify because two main requirements: one, I'm Catholic, and two, never been married. And there has been an instance in which an ordinary person was elected Pope. It was never a priest, never a bishop, never a cardinal. He was elected Pope right off the street. I think it was during the 9th century, one of the Adrians back then. I think that was the Pope name he took was Adrian. So, there's hope for me yet. And of course, if I get elected Pope, well, everything's going to be in English. The way that Mass is said nowadays, since last year, since the Advent season of 2010, I changed it back to the way it was before because, to me, it's kind of almost like the old way they did it, probably back when my parents were kids, and also kind of lost its humility. So I'll change the Mass back to the way it was, make everything in English. I can't speak Latin. I don't want to speak Latin. So hopefully I might be elected Pope come the end of next month. Who knows? That'll be a new job opportunity right there. Anyway, going a little bit long, so those are my thoughts. If you have any questions, post them down below. Even if you see this 10 years from now, post it down below. I'll probably be able to type your response. So until next time, keep those home briars burning, cigar smoking. See you next time.